Hey, what's up? Have you ever been on social media and you've seen a question that looks something like this? What's the answer, 1 or 12? Only 6 out of every 4 Americans can get this right. Show us, are you smart? Now, if you look at the comments underneath the picture, you're usually going to see a raging debate. Some people thinking that the answer is 1, and some people thinking that the answer is obviously 12. Let's go ahead and take a look at that picture again. Alright, so maybe we can see the logic behind either one of these things. 1 and 10 together gives us 11, take away 5 is 6, times 2 is 12. Or we can do 5 times 2 first to get 10, and then we do 1 plus 10 is 11, take away 10 is 1. So which is it? Well, that's kind of the point of this video. Let's find out. To answer our question at the top of the video, we need to use the order of operations, which you may know by its alternate name of PEMDAS. Both of these two things basically mean the same thing. They tell us how we should navigate through our calculations. The letters of PEMDAS, P-E-M-D-A-S, stand for parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Now, if we wanted to interpret this literally, it tells us that we must complete our parentheses stuff first, followed specifically by our exponents, then by multiplication, then division, then addition, and then subtraction, all in that very particular order. The trouble with the literal interpretation is that we don't actually have to do these things in that particular order. Take a look at these bullet points on the screen. Instead of tying ourselves to the letters of PEMDAS, it's better to think of things in terms of grouping. Make sure that you do all of your calculations within any set of parentheses first, no matter where they are in the problem. Each of these is going to be their own mini problem, and they are also subject to PEMDAS. Once we start to think of things in terms of grouping, then we can actually start to worry about the order of our operations. The first thing we always need to make sure of is within our parentheses, or if we don't have parentheses, that we do anything that has an exponent first. Once we do all the exponents, then we can worry about our multiplication and division. Important side note, you don't have to do any multiplication before your division. You can do both multiplication and division in any order. You just have to make sure you do it after the exponents and before the addition or subtraction. Your best bet is to do the calculations in the order that's going to make your numbers as easy as possible. But if you're the type of person who really feels like you need some kind of directions, then I would suggest doing things from left to right. And that leads us to our final set of operations here, addition and subtraction. Just like with multiplication and division, you can do them in whatever order you want. You just have to make sure that you save your adding and subtracting for the very end. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and put this PEMDAS, this order of operations stuff to practice. Let's take a look at some examples. Our first example question is going to ask us to evaluate parentheses 4 plus 11 times 3 minus parentheses 60 divided by 5 minus 6. We'll break this down into smaller bite-sized chunks here. One with the parentheses on the left-hand side, 4 plus 11 times 3. The other problem that we would do is the second parentheses, 60 divided by 5 minus 6. So, starting in on the left-hand side, we need to do our multiplication first. This gives us a new parentheses term of 4 plus 11 times 3 is 33. In our second set of parentheses, same thing, we have to do our division here first. 60 divided by 5 is 12, and then we subtract 6. Now, within each of our two parentheses terms, we're just going to do our addition and subtraction. 4 and 33 is 37, 12 minus 6 is 6. And then, folks, we can basically just drop the parentheses here and turn it into 37 minus 6. Final answer, 31. Hopefully you can see how breaking it down into two smaller problems makes this a lot easier. Let's go ahead and take a look at a slightly more complicated example. This time we want to evaluate 5 squared plus 18 divided by parentheses 20 minus 11. There seems to be more going on here. We see again that we have a parentheses term that we're going to have to deal with. We also have an exponent right here that we're going to have to do after that, and then we also have division. So there's a lot of things that we got to keep track of. But first things first, let's do our parentheses here. Outside we're going to keep everything the same. 5 squared plus 18 divided by, and then 20 minus 11 is 9 last time I checked, right? Now we have to take care of our exponent, 5 squared. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 18 divided by, we can get rid of those parentheses, 9. Now we'll do our division here. This is going to give us 25 plus 18 divided by 9 is 2. And then, if we just add the two things that are left over, we get a final answer of 27. Once again, breaking things down makes it easier for us to do the work, but let's take a look and see how we would do this in something that looks a lot more complicated. In our final example here, we have 12 minus 2 to the third over parentheses 1 plus 1 squared plus 6 times 8. So what exactly do we have here? What are we looking at? Let's take care of the tough part here first. We have a fraction here, and fractions represent division, top divided by bottom. So we have to take care of the top as if it was its own problem, the bottom as if it was its own problem, and then we combine them together as division, top divided by bottom. We also have to worry about this 6 times 8 over here, and then at the end of the day, we'll put it all together. So we have our strategy. Let's get going. In the top, we have an exponent. 2 to the third is 8. That would be 2 times 2 times 2. In the bottom, we have to take care of our parentheses. 1 and 1 is 2, and we'll leave the 6 times 8 as is. We'll do 12 minus 8 in the top. That gives us 4. 2 squared, or 2 to the second, is also 4, and again, we leave the 6 times 8. Here, we have division, and then we have multiplication over here. 4 divided by 4 is what we're going to do on the left. That gives us 1, and then 6 times 8 is 48. We add those two things together, and that is going to give us a final answer of 49. So the lesson of the day here should be that breaking things down into smaller pieces is a good thing. Don't overwhelm yourself immediately by looking at this and going, I need to do all of this at the same time. You don't. Break it down into smaller, easy parts, and then start combining your answers all together. The only thing you really need to make sure of is that you do any exponents before you do multiplication or division, and you have to do multiplication or division before you do addition or subtraction. For any of those last things, the order doesn't really matter too much. You may as well do it from left to right, but like I said before, you should really be trying to do things in an order that makes your calculations as easy as possible. But like always, practice is going to make this a whole lot easier, and eventually you're not even really going to have to think about things. So, get on that. All right, thanks for stopping by. Talk soon. Later.